Good morning, traders. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a good start to your day. Let's jump into the calendar and have a look at what's going on today. And we have no news today. So let's look for the 9:30 open for your volatility injection and see what we have going on there. 9 o'clock for commodities. Obviously, we have the pit opens at 9 for commodities. So your gold and oil trades. 9:30 for indices. All right, let's jump over to straight to the charts today, guys. And please remember to give the video a like. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. And be sure to share the channel far and wide. Your support is greatly appreciated. And we want to be able to share the channel far and wide so that we can, help support other traders out there who might be new to trading, or traders that have been around for a while and want to refine their edge. That's what we want to do here at Jimmy Trades and Trade Foundry. So be sure to share the channel far and wide. A reminder on Tradeify's current spring sale, as they're calling it. Their spring sale is 40% off for new users across all their accounts and 30% off for all other purchases. So if you're an existing user, 30% off, 40% off if you are a new user. Code Jimmy Trades. Apex does not have a current sale at the moment, but you can always get 50% off with code Jimmy. So be sure to grab your Apex evals or your Tradeify evals as we move into Wednesday for CPI. If you plan to one shot, one kill, there's a great opportunity to do that. All right, let's have a look at NQ here on the daily chart. We did sweep out one of the points of interest yesterday that we were looking at. We can see we did end up getting some expansion. We filled that gap. The opening gap that was here was filled and closed through. So we did actually end up with, a half decent move. We do see that the sellers came in the PM to push price back down again, and still plenty of volatility around. You're probably noticing, if you are trading, that your stop losses might be larger than usual. I noticed on a couple of trades that I have been looking at, not trades that I've taken, but trades that would traditionally say maybe be a 40-point stop is like a 100-point stop. So just be aware of that we've still got plenty of volatility in the market. And even today might be a day to sit on your hands. We will be streaming today in Trade Foundry, so be sure to head over there, link in the description. And we'll see what we can find. If we can find an opportunity, we're not going to be risking our accounts. But if there is a valid setup, we'll look to take it. So having a look here at NQ, first thing I want to look at is this wick. We are in respect of the 50% level here currently. We've got a small open, so a small wick to the downside here, but we do have a gap that when price opened today, we did gap up. So I'm potentially looking for that to be filled. I'm still, with this sort of candle here, we've got a pretty even wick on either side. Yes, it's a bullish candle, but either way, this would be my invalidation point, this level here for longs. So if price was to come down and continue to move through here, then sure, I'll be looking for price to move lower. We may even just see an inside bar day. Okay. Yesterday's move is a reaction to all of the tariff news and this cascade here. And with CPI tomorrow, we may even just see an inside bar day, because my initial draw is usually the closest previous day high or the previous day low, wherever we sit. So at the moment, previous day high would be the closest draw for me. We do have a small wick to the downside, so we could see an expansion candle here, but we'll move down to the hourly. I'm actually going to sit neutral for today until I get some nice context. If I do get the context I need to look for a position. We have these equal lows from yesterday. And you can see this wick here, that sort of move always draws my eye. It is straight out of this bearish FEG here on the hourly. We do have a change in the state of delivery here with displacement, and that was respected. You can see that 9:30 open push down, and we managed to respect that. And also this series of this series of down close candles, we respected that there. So at the moment, it's very choppy to me. It's not clean at all, very wicky. We've got this little gap here where we opened today. We've got relative equal lows here. For me, this is, where I think price is likely to reach for at the moment. We did sweep the Asia high here. During London, we swept this high. So I think price is likely to at least come down to here, and we'll see if we can get a move off of this gap. But we are in that consolidation at the moment. We can see that through here. So I wouldn't entertain playing a position from the middle of this range. I'd want to see price move below the range and potentially give us a move like this. You can see, I hope you can see why I'm sitting neutral on the day at the moment. Let's jump over to ES on the daily. Gonna have a very similar story, no doubt. 50% of the previous day's range. Be looking for price to respect that level. We still gapped up as well on ES. Looking for the low hanging fruit being previous day high. That'll take us up into this bearish FEG here as well, which might see Tuesday put in the high of the week if we do manage to get this high, or potentially Wednesday if CPI is kind. But then I still think we're probably looking to move lower. So we may see a Tuesday high of the week or a midweek reversal from Wednesday if we do move up to that FEG. Dropping down to the hourly. Very much consolidation at the moment. We've still got the gap here. We've got relative equal highs. Again, looking for a similar scenario here. Do we come down lower and then potentially move higher after open and seek out these highs? So look for that manipulation. So consolidation, manipulation, distribution, or accumulation, AMD. Again, remaining neutral for ES at the moment. And that gives us the ability to obviously play in either direction. Gives us the idea that we can pivot, be flexible. All right, let's move over to oil. Fairly average looking day for oil yesterday. Virtually closed at the same price as open. So what did we do? We respected 50% of the previous day's range. Look at that, to the tick. So we respected 50% of Friday's range to the tick. Low hanging fruit, previous day low right now. We do the same thing here. We're respecting 50% of the previous day's range. So this is our low hanging fruit. I'm looking for price to reach to these lows here. At these relative equal lows. So we'll see how price fares today. But it's fairly average PA right there. We did get a change in state of delivery that looks to be failing now. It did hold up on that for quite some time. We're up into a bearish FEG at the moment, so we'll see if price can close through that and potentially find some legs here. Otherwise, I do think we're going to continue to previous day low. All right. So I'm going to run with a bearish bias for oil today. And you can see the respect that price has shown to this bearish FEG here as well. All right, let's have a look at Euro futures. You can see all that low resistance liquidity got taken out here, which is what I'm assuming I had marked up there. Definitely looking for previous day low here. That's the low hanging fruit. Quite a strong seller's wick. And we're not at a point of interest here either. So next point of interest, we're looking at this low and then this low. And this is also into a bullish FEG. This would be the area I'd be looking for price to want to breach for. Whether that happens today or not is another story. I don't think it will. I think it'll be likely that consolidation prior to CPI. We will find out. Bearish for Euro. Let's jump over to gold now. Okay, so gold's found some support in this bullish FEG that we had marked out. We managed to respect the consequent encroachment of that by the looks. Yeah, perfectly. Nice. Only a small wick to the downside, so that indicates potential expansion candle. And what are we looking at here? How are we reacting? So we're reacting right off the 50% level, the previous day range at the moment. So if we drop to the hourly, I want to see if we have a change in state of delivery. We do have one here. It's off a failure swing. That's okay though. I do prefer, obviously, if it's not a failure swing, but I will use what the information I have given to me. And then if we run the high to the low, we can use that value swing to run our projections. And this would be my target area. For gold. If we remain bullish, we have no points of interest through here. We've already closed through this bearish FEG. We therefore have this value swing here to reach for, this one here up into this bearish FEG, which aligns nicely with that target area. So that's what we're looking for price to reach for today. We do also have relative equal highs here. So would look to see price manipulate lower at open for us to then look to run higher. We shall see what happens. Dixie, how did Dixie go yesterday? On the daily, we did move up. So we did run higher. Still weren't able to close through this gap, but I like a potential continuation higher here. You can see price respecting the previous day's wick here. I'm only measuring the wick because that is, for me, it's larger than the body. So I'm using the wick in this instance rather than the whole candle. Even if we use the whole candle, we're still respecting 50% of the previous day's range, but I'm looking more at the wick here. Okay, because that's also buying pressure. So we're respecting that buying pressure that's come in. And you can see that we're also doing the same thing here. We're pretty much opened with no wick to the high side. So we have a draw on liquidity to the high side as well here. And then obviously the remainder of this gap. So let's remain bullish. Now that works good. The correlation between, the inverse correlation, I should say, between Euro and Dixie sees us with a bearish bias for 6E and a bullish bias for Dixie. So, and they are very much inversely correlated, much more so than the correlation or the inverse correlation that used to be present between NQ, ES, and Dixie. That's just not the way it used to be. All right. So, but I use definitely 6E and Dixie for that inverse correlation. All right, let's move over to GU. So we've disrespected this bullish FEG here. This being our next target. These relative equal lows through here. Currently respecting the 50% level, even the bottom quarter of the previous day's range here. We've got a daily change in the state of delivery with displacement. So we can even run our standard deviations from here. I'm going to use the bodies only because this wick is quite manipulated. And that'll see price. Yeah, look at that target region right here. Target area. Right in line with this series of, or this relative equal low and this bullish FEG. I really, really like that. So there's a good chance from that information there, we'll see price run lower. We also have a lot of low resistance liquidity down here as well. Lastly, let's go and check out Bitcoin. Doesn't look a lot different to where we saw it yesterday. Excuse me. Let's mark out the range of this candle. So we're looking at the 50% level here. We're still in the top half of the previous day range. That's why I'm using the whole body, the whole of yesterday's range. Currently, the low-hanging fruit is actually still previous day high into a bearish FEG. So I think if we respect the 50% level of the previous day range, I think there's a good chance we could still see price run higher. Again, with CPI tomorrow, we might even just see price sort of consolidate and remain an inside bar today, not taking either side of the range from yesterday. So we'll see what happens there. Well, thank you for tuning in today, guys. I greatly appreciate you and all your support. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Be sure to jump over and join us in Trade Foundry. We stream there at least 4 times a week. Grab your Tradeify and your Apex evals. Your support is greatly appreciated using code JimmyTrades for Tradeify and code Jimmy for Apex. Take care, guys. Have a safe Tuesday. See you in Trade Foundry. Bye for now.